Welcome to the Heidi Thorne Show. I'm your host, Heidi Thorne, and in this podcast I share my real-world small business and self-publishing experience with you. Before we get started, I just want to remind you to like, comment, share, follow, and subscribe. Now let's get on with today's show. I posted a video on TikTok and Instagram asking if you received a used book as a gift, would you think the giver was cheap or that they found a treasure for you? Here's how my tribe responded. The majority responded that they would love it if someone gave them a used book but had different reasons for it. The primary reason that people would appreciate a used book was that the giver understood their interest and values. Getting an out-of-print or vintage book, or a particular title, topic, or genre would score points with the recipient. For others, living a sustainable lifestyle by giving and receiving used books was most important. Still others would love getting a book that the giver loved and decided to share. A fair amount of the respondents said that it would depend on the intention of the giver. I would add that it depends on the recipient too. If the giver was at a sale or thrift store and discovered a perfect book, that would be a signal to the recipient that the giver really understood them. But if it was a generic book, it would be a signal the giver was just cheap. One respondent emphasized that recipients should be grateful for any gift and that there should be no judgment of the giver if a used book was given. I think this is especially so with inflation and more concern these days about personal financial health and the environment. However, if the recipient is a person that feels only the newest, latest, and best is a gift that's worthy, and that they're worth it, giving them something used would be a social slap. No judgment of them either. A number of the respondents noted that it would depend on the condition of the book. That's fair. I've found lots of like-new books at used book sales. They look like they could go on a retail bookshelf. Others, not so much. Some people don't carefully care for their books. Time and storage conditions can also affect whether a book is giftable. If stored in damp conditions, it can have a musty, used book smell that is difficult to impossible to get rid of. One person said that they're allergic to dust and it could impact how they felt about a used book gift. As someone with both dust and mold allergies, I can relate. So I'm very careful when I hunt for used books for myself, to gift, or to resell on eBay. An exception to the condition issue with marks and missing pages might be if the book belonged to or was given by someone famous. Imagine getting a book that had been signed by an author who was a recognized literary genius. It might be priceless. The condition, authenticity, and value would have to be evaluated by a vintage or rare books professional. But think how valuable a gift that used book would be. This all goes back to understanding the recipient. If you know the person has sensitivities to certain book types and conditions, then that needs to be considered. So the overall verdict is that a used book would be a treasured gift if it was given while thoughtfully considering the recipient's interests, values, and concerns. What I really liked is that some respondents said that on their gift wish lists that they give to family and friends, they specify that they want used books if available. That's a great idea. As I mentioned a little bit ago, I do sell used books on eBay, but in a very narrow niche. I only sell knitting, crochet, and crafting books on eBay, so if that's something that you or your gift recipients are interested in, check it out. I hope you found that helpful or interesting, and if you did, please rate, review, and subscribe to The Heidi Thorne Show on whatever podcast app you like to use. I'm on all the major ones, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you like the YouTube video better, all you have to do is subscribe to my Heidi Thorne YouTube channel, which is at Heidi Thorne Channel, and turn on the notification bell so you get an alert when there's a new video available. I would appreciate it if you would share the audio or the video with your friends on social media. My self-published books, the new ones, are available on Amazon, Audible, and Apple Books. All you have to do is go to one of those sites, type in my name, Heidi Thorne, and my author page will come up with a list of all available titles. If you'd like to connect with me, my website is HeidiThorne.com. Thank you so much for listening and for your support. I look forward to talking with you again in the next episode, and in the meantime, have a great day.